Real estate takes away your freedom, but real estate is great for diversification. If you buy real estate, you are dependent on the government. But if you don't have real estate, where are you putting your money? Just in crypto? Just in a high-yield savings account? Are you putting it in a business, all in different businesses you have? This is a dilemma, and this is something that was discussed yesterday at the table with first-class citizens. We made a meetup in Lisbon while sharing some revised takes. We were sharing why some millionaires or multi-millionaires, billionaires are leveraging real estate. For example, Robert Kiyosaki or Chris Cron, especially using debt. However, on the other side, why billionaires like Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, in an interview mentions that he does not own any real estate. We don't know if it's true or not, or maybe he's using the structure that's control everything, own nothing. So maybe he does not own any real estate and he's telling the truth, not in his name, but maybe in somebody else's name or inside a trust. Maybe nothing at all, right? Because he wants to use more his mental bandwidth for other things rather than thinking, oh, somebody's calling because there's a reparation to be made or the management company is not performing and the guest is complaining. So if you have real estate, it's a pro and a con. And this is something that was discussed yesterday. Shall I buy more real estate and where? If I want to grow exponentially, like 10x, get into the 8-figure, 9-figure club. This is something that I would love to hear more about in the comments from you, especially if you already own real estate and especially if you're already in the multi-7 or 8-figure, more than 10 million in net worth, more than 30 million in net worth, more than 100 million in net worth. What's your take? And I want this video to be a space for all of us to mastermind. Of course, if you are a client or first-class citizen, just let us know, hey, Miquel, I watched the video and here's my opinion. You can put it in the group that we have, or in the next meetup. When you come, you tell us. But the real estate, the pros is that usually it's difficult to lose money unless you invested in Argentina. And even if the real estate went up and it appreciated, the currency was devalued so much that it's gonna be a problem to make money, like absolute numbers out of it. However, if you bought in Manhattan 50 years ago, also something very interesting, the Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, multiple billions put into Bitcoin. He says, why would you diversify in other crypto assets? If you could go back in time and Bitcoin was the equivalent to Manhattan, why would you buy a little bit in Manhattan, a little bit of Turkey, if you could have put everything into Manhattan, which has been one of the best performing real estate markets, he says, in the last 50 years, like from nothing to crazy, right? When there's a top performing asset, why would you diversify? I'm turned, I have this dilemma and I'm sharing this video just like honest, raw thoughts. When you have to buy real estate, you have to think about the place where. It's like, okay, I want to buy in Turkey because maybe you're interested in a passport. That's more interesting even. One of our clients, Indian citizen, bought property in Turkey and after 3 years, it's tripled the value. Crazy, from 250,000 that it was at the time to around 700, 750. So almost a 3x in just 3 years. So literally he got paid for getting the Turkish citizenship. And he would not have bought in Turkey if it was not for this extra nice bonus of becoming a citizen. So if there's a goal that you want, it's like, okay, it makes sense to invest in Turkey, but then where in Turkey? Because not all the properties in the last 3 years 3x'd. He chose very well because he already knew. He already had a strong real estate background with multiple successful deals for over 20 years. But inside Turkey, it's like where? In Istanbul? What part? The Asian part? The European part? If it's the Asian, what neighborhood? If it's on the coast side, is it Bodrum? Is it Antalya? Right? And inside Bodrum and Antalya, what neighborhood? And if it's close to the sea, well, what area? Because the seacoast has many kilometers. So that poses the difficulty as well to not get scammed, especially if you are dealing in another language, another currency. So there are many risks, difficulties that can make it, not that obvious to make money with real estate. The other thing is, are you going to pay with cash or do you have some type of leverage? Can you tap into the banking system? For example, in Georgia, explained this in another video. I shared it in the live event we did in Tbilisi 2024. And if the bank finances 85% of the property, then it makes more sense for you to get a 15% down with your money and then let the rent cover the fees of the loan with the bank. Plus the appreciation, you're going to make money basically on 85% of the money that was not yours. When you do this, or when you borrow money under the 3.4% of inflation, some say at 5%, whatever you define as a baseline of inflation, if you borrow money under inflation, you're basically taking free money, because in 1 year you will have paid X amount in interest, let's say 2.5, but if inflation was 3.4, your money is worth less, but you invested in an asset that appreciates, so you borrowed kind of free money. And this is possible in the United States. That's why we have a credit and funding program where our students can get the personal cards, get to 720 credit score, and then get $100,000 to $150,000 in funding, depending on how many LLCs and how strong their personal credit score is. But real estate starts to make sense when, one, you can get citizenship. Number two, when you can use other people's money, the bank's money, loans to buy the real estate. So you have more liquidity and you can start multiple deals. You can just put 15% or 30% down. But to get access to that, for example, the Spanish loans or Portuguese loans, you need to become a resident. In Georgia, it's different. What about in Turkey? What about in Africa? What about in the Caribbean, etc., etc.? Or what if you take the money from America, you cash it out, and you move it overseas, internationally? That's also another option. But there's this complexity, plus the fact of what if the government changes the laws? What if then there's a crazy tax? What if there's a war in the country? All of these things are possible, and because the asset is not movable, it's not easy, like crypto with a pen drive, cross borders, get on planes, and just carry millions of dollars in your pocket, or have your keys have the wallet in a safe, let's say in Dubai, and then you travel to Singapore, and with another wallet you just put the keys and boom, you can access the money because you just need the phrase to enter and access your coins. So this freedom that it gives you, it's incredible. That's why yesterday one of the gentlemen was saying, why would you get into real estate that it's so complicated if you get into crypto, that it's an asset that it's liquid all the time, you are not attached to one place? And that's such a good point. Also investing in crypto, yesterday the gentleman was like, oh, I was like, what if Bitcoin goes up? Great, you make money, but if it goes down, he says, you can short it. I was like, great, but how many traders make money over a course of 5 years? You can have one lucky trade. But what are the statistics saying about people trading? Because they are trying to time the market. What I've heard, at least, the people who made the most money in crypto are the ones who bought and forgot the wallet for a long time, then found it again, boom, never sold, just all the volatility that it had, no problem. Just go to the graphs and see if you bought at this time with all this money that you put in a home, how much would be your net worth if you had put everything in that coin. But who would know that crypto asset would go up that much, right? So third part here could be real estate, crypto, or the business. What if you put 100,000 in ads and you make a 5x with your funnel? You make 500,000. What asset is going to give you with predictability, because you control the different variables? It's not crypto that you are depending on the market, the stocks, etc. You can control your business. If the funnel is not working, if the ads are not working, if the landing page does not convert, you just tweak things and you optimize. Do so many things, right? Start doing content, etc., etc. But also the headaches of having a business. You need to have a team to fulfill, and you need to know about different areas, right? So that's the reason that Alex Hormozi, for example, says, I'm just reinvesting in business, and I'm not that much into crypto or real estate as much as I'm heavy in businesses, because businesses is what I know about. The same way that Robert Kiyosaki is so heavy in real estate, Chris Cron so heavy in real estate. And then we have other examples of people that are just into crypto, nothing else. I would say these are the three assets that I'm interested in right now. However, it's always interesting to think, okay, now I have this excess of cash, where do I put it? Here, here, here. So what's your take? How do you decide where do you invest in one, the other, or the other? And if you're interested in these topics, I think you'd love to join two things. One, the Telegram, you can access below, where I can share things and opportunities that I cannot share in social media, where I can speak differently. Number two, the email, because as well I share every week a newsletter that is written by me. Then we share other information. And number three, if you become a client, you know inside the group where are the next meetups where we discuss all of these things in person. And then you are the first one to know about the First Class Citizen Summit, a yearly event where we bring experts and they share not their ideas of what they think, what they've read, no, their wisdom, what they're seeing in real life. And then we invite law firms, tax experts, people that have an edge, information before it's widely spread out. So if you wanna be part of those, you'll know once you are a client of First Class Citizens. I'm gonna let YouTube choose what video to place you over here. Check it out. I'll see you right there. Watch it right now.